Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.
This is St. Louis on the Air from St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Elaine Cha. The practice of yoga evokes many images for different people. For some, it's a spiritual and physical exercise that can relax just as much as challenge. For others, it's a way to spend time in meditation and step away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. And for our guest today, there's a very particular image she has in mind, and it's animated by her mission to use yoga as a way to create space for Black people's health, healing, and happiness. Nico Marie McNeese is a native St. Louisan and Black yogi who took that very mission to the interwebs 3 years ago. Since then, she's amassed over 100,000 subscribers, and she's here to share her story. Nico, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, 100,000 followers on YouTube. I mean, I can't even imagine what 100,000 of something would be
I
like.
can't either.
That's not an easy feat, especially in just 3 years. Now, did you have any expectations or goals around garnering that kind of following when you started out?
I honestly had no expectations. Like, what honestly happened is after the pandemic started, I couldn't teach my students in real life. So I made like a couple videos on Instagram, and then I got a request for a specific type of video. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll put it on YouTube. Everybody can watch it on YouTube. And then from there, I just started uploading, and the followers came.
So it became more everybody than you had initially thought.
Than I had could have ever imagined.
Now, you've been practicing yoga now for several years. What is it that initially interested you in it?
It was just like being out of high school. Like when I was in high school, I played a sport every season. So I'm super duper in shape. So after high school, I realized that doesn't just happen. You just don't stay in shape by doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me find something for me that I can do to keep myself in shape, to keep myself up, to keep myself feeling good, because I wasn't feeling good. So I know I'm not somebody who really was interested in going to a gym. So I just Googled yoga spaces in my area, yoga studios in my area, and I started attending a yoga studio. And the instructor told me, you should look into becoming an instructor. And I'm just like, who has time for that? I'm like, who has the time or the money? But, she worked out a payment plan with me. And
oh, wow.
It just happened. It
Okay.
just happened.
And did this happen to be a yoga studio or an instructor that was part of the Black community here in St. Louis?
No. So she was a white woman, and most of the students at that studio were predominantly white. And I did teach at that studio for a while, but I knew I wanted to bring yoga to Black spaces and to the Black community because I saw what it was doing for other people. I felt what it was doing for me. And I was like, our community really needs this. So then that's when I branched off and started teaching my own classes.
So at what point did teaching come into your mind as something that you knew you needed to do?
It was just more of like, it was just kind of piquing my interest, and I knew that I enjoyed practicing yoga. So when she brought it to me, it was a proposition that I didn't honestly take serious at first. And then once we got deeper into the practice and the meaning of yoga and the history behind yoga and the positive effects, the healing effects it could have on you and your body, I'm like, this is definitely something I need to be spreading the knowledge about, because there's so many situations and so many circumstances in the Black community where we need that healing and we need those safe spaces. So yeah, it's been a great journey.
Yeah. Tell me about some of the students you've had.
Oh my gosh, I've had so many different kind of students, and it's insane to say now that I have students all over the world.
Okay.
Like there are people overseas who will message me and say, "Hey, I'm on this group with people where we learn English and we do your yoga videos together." Or, I'll have people who are older. A woman approached me yesterday and she was 50. I get people commenting on my videos who are 70. I have people who are in high school, men, women, people of all genders, of all races, of all ages practice with me, and it's amazing. It's I can't believe it sometimes.
Well, and the first time that I saw you in person was actually when I was with a former colleague who is like she's old enough to be a parent. She's like a friend.
Yes.
And so that was definitely a in real life sort of sign of the range of people that you've been working with.
Yes.
Now, just to put a finer point on it, why was it important to you, Nico, to bring yoga to Black folks here in a place that is your birthplace and where you've grown up?
I really have a deep love for my home, the people here, and in the Black community, especially around, events such as like Mike Brown and, just violence in the city. A lot of people are very stressed, and a lot of people have kind of taken on a routine where they go to work, they go home, they do very little me time, or they do very little physical activity in between. And, stress, it just causes other things in your body. It just causes chaos in your body. It causes health issues. And, I know a lot about talking to people and their parents who might be 50 or 60 years old, and people are passing away at the ages of 50 and 60. And a lot of what's contributing to that is stress.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we didn't have very many outlets, and yoga isn't often marketed to Black people, so we don't feel like it's for us. So I just wanted to show people in my community that yoga is for us. It's just a tool that we can use. It can be used in whatever fits best into your life. So being able to go on YouTube and being like, hey, if you only have 10 minutes today, throw on these 10 minutes and at least get a little bit of peace and calm and inner healing or whatever rest you need. So it was just important in a sense that there's so much chaos that tends to happen out of our control that goes on in the city and around us. It's always important to come back to your inner self, because you can always have that peace within you.
So you started on YouTube because you were not able to teach in person on account of the pandemic, and you continue to do these videos on YouTube. Why do you continue to do that if people are now getting back together again?
People express to me on YouTube the things that it has done for them. And I want to, if I can impact people in a way that they can feel better about themselves, that they can feel better about their bodies, and they can have a clearer and more peaceful state of mind, I want to do that for as many people as I possibly can. And so they kind of will share it with each other. The more people that come, they share with their peers. And it's the comments and the DMs and things that keep me going. Like people telling me things like, I have really bad anxiety, and now I can manage my anxiety without my medication. Or, I have this injury, or I've had this, I've been dealing with this loss, and you've really helped me. And that just propels me to move forward, and I enjoy it. I like doing it. Yeah. So that also keeps me going.
And has that informed sort of the way that you are perfecting or continuing to work on your yoga practice and instruction?
Absolutely. Like once I started teaching on YouTube and people started telling me how it was impacting their lives, I started taking yoga more seriously for myself. I started doing yoga every day. And my initial mission when I was doing yoga every day was like, okay, I'm going to make a video like I did yoga for a year. This is what happened. And then it completely transformed and changed my life. It changed me physically. It changed me mentally. It changed my confidence. Like so many great things happened. And I'm like, I want everybody to feel this way.
Now, your yoga practice, is not the only thing you do. Nico Marie,
Yes.
McNeese, local DJ
Yes.
as well, right? So your residency at Sophie's Artist Lounge in Midtown, and you've had some of your DJ mixes go viral, right? There seems to be a pattern here. Is there any correlation, like a direct link between your DJing and your yoga practice and instruction?
I would say that my direct link is Black joy. I love to see people feeling good, smiling, telling me how they feel. People will come up to me, whether it's from yoga or DJing, and just tell me what I did for them or what they've enjoyed about what I do. And that does so much for me. I always tell people, you guys do just as much for me as you feel that I'm doing for you. So it's really just about the joy and the happiness and enjoying your life. And that's part of your health. Your happiness is part of your health. So if I can contribute to somebody's health, that's making me feel great.
Yeah. Now, with the music that you're playing, where do you find yourself doing that most often? And is there, similarly, as with the yoga instruction that you've been doing, is it in predominantly Black spaces?
Yes, it's in predominantly Black spaces. I still teach at Herb Arts, which is a Black-owned art gallery. The spaces that I DJ at, there's always many Black faces. But yeah, it's I always I like to say I have my ear to the streets. So I'm always listening to what people are listening to. I'm always looking for what people are listening to or what people are looking to get out of a night out or out of their yoga experience.
So does the kind of DJ, the kind of music that you use to DJ, is it sort of genre focused, or with that ear to the ground, is it sort of everything is within play?
It's kind of situational. Like I never play music I don't like. So my first rule is that I play music I like, because I really feel like that's part of what makes the DJ is the person's taste. So I trust my taste, and I experiment with different things. I'll play different things. I'll see what people are reacting to, but I always play music that I like. Whatever genre it is, if it fits within the space, if it fits within the moment, then I just go with it.
And what do you like?
I like a lot of stuff, but my favorite is, I love R&B and soul and funk, old and new. When I was younger, we listened to a lot of older music, so I would be listening to Wilson Pickett and Tina Turner, of course, Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson and Chuck Berry. We had a range of music in my house, so I think I resonate a lot with stuff that's soulful.
Yeah.
But of course I love rap music. There was the crunk era when I was growing up. I love Memphis rap. Of course I love St. Louis rap. We have a style. So yeah, it's really, there's so many different things I enjoy.
Yeah. Now, I hear that there's something called Studio 314.
Yes.
Nico, what is that?
So Studio 314 is my 70s party. The title is inspired by Studio 54. I think this is our third or fourth one.
Okay.
But it's kind of celebrates the roots of disco and the roots of that genre, because the disco has Black roots. So yeah, so just coming back home, it just feels like a homecoming, and it being Studio 314 is so appropriate, because we can be in that space together celebrating that genre in that time, and genres of the like, whether it be old music or new music, and then everybody gets dressed, and it's so beautiful. It feels like you are really transported to the 70s, and we just all laugh and we dance, and there's a best dress contest, and we have a good time.
So it took just 3 years for you to get to 100,000 plus followers, right, on your yoga channel on YouTube. What do you hope happens in the next 3 years?
I am Right now, I am just taking life as it comes. I'm enjoying like every moment. I'm enjoying every milestone. I'm enjoying every accomplishment. And I'm just confident that wherever it takes me, as long as I'm in the happiest space I can be in, whatever comes, I'm ready for it. Mm-hmm. So I don't have any like super specific goals. It's just like, bring it on. Whatever it is, I'm ready. I'm happy. I'm here for it.
And is there maybe one encounter that you have had with someone who is a Black St. Louisan like yourself that really made you feel like I'm doing something that is necessary right now in a really specific way? Do you have an anecdote about that?
I've had so many amazing encounters, so many, more than I can count. And no, I don't feel like any encounter that I have is like bigger than the other. It's like from the smallest thing to, oh yeah, me and my kids and my wife do yoga with you, to people coming to Sophie's and being like, I've been waiting to see you. I've been waiting to meet you. It just shows me that what I'm doing is so much more meaningful than I thought it was. And it just gives me even more purpose. It just gives me even more purpose and even more reason to keep going, aside from me loving it so much.
Yeah. And with that many followers, there are many more people who recognize you than you would recognize. So what has it been like to be out in St. Louis and then have people be like, oh, it's DJ Nico Marie or Black Yogi? I mean,
I'm still not used to it. It is crazy. It's amazing. It's crazy. Like, I met a girl the other night and she cried when she met me. She cried. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is how people feel about me, and it's so exciting. And it's always the encounters that are directly with me, they're always positive. So I can't wait to have more of those encounters. Hopefully I'll see a lot of people Friday at Studio 314, and we can have even more of those because I love them. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, you are a creator, right? And so I would imagine that it is not nearly as easy as it is for people sort of looking at what you have posted onto YouTube and other places. What's hard about what you do, and how do you overcome some of those things that come up that are difficult or challenging?
What's hard is it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. Recording videos and editing videos takes a lot of time, in addition to having a busy DJ schedule. So time management is definitely something that's difficult. The fear of things not, that, what is it called? Imposter syndrome. That imposter syndrome, or the fear of things you're doing not being good enough. And the way I overcome is I have a manager now, so my manager helps me. So thank you, Alonzo. Helps me so much with my time management and, the management of my gigs and things like that. And when it comes to how I'm feeling emotionally about the things going on around me, I have a therapist. I talk to my therapist. I'm like, this is how I've been feeling in this space with these things that are going on. And she helps to give me coping skills, and also just being mindful that I am continuing my yoga and my meditation practice so that I can stay grounded in this space and remember that this is something that I love to do, and I want to keep it that way. I always want to enjoy what I'm doing. So remembering why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have the community you need in order to feed and fuel the community that you need. So you have more than 100,000 subscribers now. What's something you wish you knew now that you didn't know when you started, just in this last minute?
That you are exposing a part of yourself to a lot of people, and there may be demands of you from those people. There may be things that people want you to change, or things that people want you to change to their taste. And it's always important to be yourself and remember yourself and stay yourself throughout everything you're doing, because people can feel your genuineness and people can feel if you have a passion or not. So just keeping that passion alive.
Nico Marie McNeese teaches yoga as Black Yogi Nico Marie and spins as DJ Nico Marie. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
After checking out Nico's yoga instruction online, you can catch her DJing along with Makeda Kravitz at Central Stage in Grand Center this Friday night from 9 to 1 a.m. The vibes and tunes are disco, house, and funk. It's sure to be a great time. I almost said babies there because I can't be out till 1 a.m.
This episode was produced by Maya Norfleet.
Our audio engineer is Aaron Dorr. This podcast was mixed and edited by Aaron.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Our podcast proudly supports St. Louis artists by using music from Life Creative Group.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.
Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.